Hi. Last weekend we were at the École Humanitaire in Switzerland, Hasselberg, Switzerland. It's a high school that two of my kids have been attending up until today. On Thursday we went for their graduation, and then on Saturday they had a Summerfest, which allows them to present. There was music and speeches, and they showed what art the kids did. And it's quite a magnificent place. If you have kids of high school age who want to do something different and in two different languages, I highly recommend it. It's been great for Ian and Naomi. But Sonia, one of the 15-year-olds, delivered a paper. She was doing a presentation, a very good presentation, and it was on hatred and racial prejudice in Europe. And she was saying because the Eastern Europeans have come into the other countries and have not been assimilated, that it's created a lot of racial prejudice. And I was thinking that one of the things I know for sure is that hatred is a learned phenomena. You have to use a tremendous amount of your intelligence to learn to hate somebody and then be willing to continue to hate them. If you hate them for their color or their religion or any other reason, you've got to realize that that is something that you've learned to do. Maslow, who has talked a lot about self-actualization, said in order to sustain a self-actualized state, one of the things you have to do is resist enculturation. And enculturation is just that, learning things that are less than efficient. And of course you learn a lot of things that are efficient, don't get me wrong, there's survival things that you have to go through. But hatred is one of those things that is inefficient, completely inefficient. It makes no sense to hate somebody because of their color. If you sit down and talk to them, you'll eventually find some common ground where you enjoy them. Unless, of course, your enculturated bigotry is so deep that you can't even find that. But what we're talking about is a distinction between the two worlds. The antiquated operating system, which doesn't exist anymore. It does exist, exists everywhere, I'm sorry. It's just antiquated. It doesn't make any sense to me. I had a client years ago, and he was talking about becoming a sovereign citizen of the United States of America and giving back his Social Security card because he wanted to be a sovereign citizen and didn't want to feed the evil giant, weapons through his taxes. And as he talked, there was so much conflict in his system as he tried to make his point. And I stopped and I said, Roy, don't you get how much conflict there is in your system when you address this? And he said, yes, but that's how it has to be done. 200 years ago, we dumped tea in the sea and we went to war against the evil tyrants. He said, that's what has to be done again. I said, 200 years ago, the technology of war was outdated. Okay, Roy? This doesn't make any sense to get all conflicted. The only way we're going to get anywhere, if we're going to get to peace on the planet, is find peace in ourselves, to look for happiness, to look for our own accountability.